body found in backyard.
Teacher wants robots that kill students. Hi, I'm Chelsea Birdsall.
And I'm Samantha Ruff, and this is your Public Eye News. Allegations regarding sexual abuse against a retired priest have been found to be true. The allegations of the abuse against minor boys happened in the later 1990s after Father Menapace retired. Father Menapace has been taken off from all public priestly ministry and is not allowed to present himself as a priest. If anybody has any complaints, you are being asked to come forward and report the incident to local civil authorities. At a nickel and copper mine in the Upper Peninsula, operations have begun after a 12-year legal and political situation. The Toronto-based London Mining Corp is saying the operation started Tuesday and will be increasing the production of nickel and copper. The manager of the Eagle Mine said they will work to have the highest standards of safety, environmental operations, and community engagement. A Native American tribe with the hunting and fishing fought to prevent the mine from being built.
A fire was noticed in Ishpeming last night around 7:30 p.m. A student heard the smoke alarms and notified the owners, Kat Smith, immediately. The fire started in the basement of the residence. Thankfully, all involved got out with no injuries. Investigations show it was caused by an electrical problem. The home was insured, but there are currently no details on the degree of the damage. A vehicle crash on a Detroit freeway leaves 4 dead. Around 11 p.m. last night, the vehicle veered off the road and crashed into the base of a bridge going eastbound on I-96. According to Lieutenant Michael Shaw of the Michigan State Police, it was reported that the vehicle caught on fire shortly afterwards. Police are unsure of the names of the deceased but are working hard to identify them and the owner of the vehicle. The accident left the freeway closed for a few hours. The reason for a crash is still being investigated.
In Lansing, authorities are now working on identifying a decomposed body that was found in a backyard. Currently, officers are treating the discovery like a suspicious death and trying to determine what caused the death. A company was hired to mow the yard at the home, and while on the job, the body was discovered. If anyone has any information that might help to identify the body, you are asked to come forward. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is wanting to ask wolf hunters and trappers to help gather more information about wounds the animals have suffered. The agency wants to ask the hunters and trappers to register their kills before they skin the animals. Animal rights advocates have complained about the hunters using dogs to chase the wolves, saying it leads to dog-on-wolf fights. The agency has examined 27 wolves that were killed this past season. DNR officials will present the initiative to their board today. And after the break, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
The PBS Arts Fall Festival presents, live from Lincoln Center's acclaimed production of Stephen Sondheim's musical thriller, Sweeney Todd, starring Academy Award winner Emma Thompson, and Bryn Tervel in the title role. The PBS Arts Fall Festival presents, live from Lincoln Center's Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Friday evening at 9 on Public TV 13.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. A teacher resigns in San Diego County after being investigated for discussing the idea of robots that kill students in class. Toyette Mai Thai Vo settled to resign and receive a $92,000 settlement as an alternative to being fired, which ended up being the least expensive option. Oceanside Unified School District decided to investigate the 48-year-old teacher after hearing complaints of her talking about programming the robots to shoot misbehaving students in 2012. Vo still denies the accusations, but managed to obtain a recommendation letter from Larry Perondi, the superintendent, during the time of the accusations. He was called a person of interest after a college student disappeared, but this morning, Jesse Matthew Jr. is wanted for the kidnapping of Hannah Graham. Graham, a University of Virginia sophomore, was last spotted on surveillance video September 13th. Wyatt Andrew is tracking the search.
Before Tuesday, Matthew was described only as a person of interest, but that changed after forensic evidence was collected at his home and taken from his car. This is Charlottesville Police Chief Timothy Longo.
The Commonwealth felt we had sufficient probable cause to seek an arrest warrant. Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr. with a Class 2 felony of abduction with the intent to defile.
That's a change from last Saturday when Matthew came to police headquarters for questioning but was allowed to leave after consulting an attorney. Police at that point said they lacked probable cause for an arrest. Hannah Graham, a sophomore, went missing after drinking with friends at 2 off-campus parties on September 12th, but then headed downtown alone to an area of shops and bars 1 mile east of campus. She was spotted having a drink with Jesse Matthew inside this bar called Tempo. Some of Graham's classmates say her disappearance has caused widespread concern.
It has really sombered everyone's morale here on grounds, and I think it's not just close to home, this is our home, so it's just really hitting everyone really hard.
It's definitely the topic on everyone's mind. What is going on, like what happened? We all just really want to know what was going on, and we all think, wow, could that have been me?
The UVA campus is on a higher state of alert. It's increased police patrols and the number of rides available through a program called Safe Ride. University President Teresa Sullivan said in a statement, "We have taken several specific steps to enhance security and to increase resources available to the university community." Chief Longo stressed the police are still investigating on the presumption that Hannah Graham is alive.
We absolutely are continuing our search for Hannah, even as we speak, and we will continue our search for Hannah.
2 people were wounded in a mall in Florida after 2 men shot at them. The victims' injuries were reported to be non-life-threatening. The 2 gunmen, after shooting, got into a car and drove towards officers. Officers who were heading to the scene saw the car speeding away and turned to follow it. The vehicle the gunmen were in then crashed into another car. Police say the men inside died from injuries occurring from the crash. ISIS forces are battling earlier this morning to expand their territory inside Syria. That could force more Syrians to flee the country. Holly Williams is in Suruc, Turkey, along the Syrian border, an area hard hit this week by the U.S. airstrikes.
Just over this border checkpoint inside Syria is the town of Kobani. In fact, you can see it behind us. Just over there. Now, it has been under siege by ISIS militants for several months now, but last week the Islamic extremists launched a new offensive, seizing scores of towns and coming within 5 miles of Kobani. In fact, we've been speaking to locals over the phone today, and they say that ISIS has been shelling the outskirts of Kobani. Now, more than 130,000 Syrian refugees have streamed over this border in the last few days, and many of them are now living in makeshift camps. The United Nations says it's bracing for as many as 400,000 refugees if the town of Kobani falls to ISIS. All of the Syrian refugees we've spoken to say that they welcome the US-led airstrikes against ISIS inside Syria, but many of them also complain that they've come too late and that they won't be enough to save Kobani. Holly Williams, CBS News, Suruc, on the Turkey-Syria border.
Northern Greece police officials report 7 people have been arrested and are being held on charges of being a part of an illegal adoption ring that took Bulgarian babies and sold them to Greece. Arrests were announced this morning in Trikala, Greece, after undercover cops posed as a couple who were buying a 21-day-old boy for $12,800. Current suspects include the birth mother of the baby boy, a lawyer, and a few other Greek citizens who may be involved with 10 other similar situations since 2007. The process of legal adoption normally stems from normal adoption delays in Greece's relatively affluent in comparison to their Balkan neighbors. German-American journalist was finally released after being held in Somalia for 2 years and is currently receiving treatment at the German embassy in Nairobi, according to German Foreign Ministry. Michael Scott Moore was sent to Kenya's capital after his release yesterday. Spokeswoman Saucian Shevely said that a special crisis group and German federal police worked with American officials since his capture in January of 2012. The reasons of his release and rumors of a ransom were not specified by Shevely, who would not comment any further. After the break, we'll have your weather and sports.
In 1485, the infamous King Richard III died in a bloody battle. His remains were discovered in 2013.
But his skeleton, with its severely curved spine, has baffled experts. How could a man with such a severe deformity have waged war so fiercely? See King Richard ride into battle again, resurrecting Richard III on Secrets of the Dead.
Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Georgia Breen with your weather. And if we take a look outside, you see the sun. It's a beautiful day, and we're supposed to be having nice temperatures this whole weekend, so that'll be something nice for us. And currently the temperature is 70 with the winds out of the south at 13 miles per hour and a pressure of 30.31 inches and steady. And tonight we'll see some cloudy skies with a low of 55 and the winds out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 73 with the winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And let's take a look around the UP. In Sault Ste. Marie, it's 64 and sunny. Manistee, 64 and sunny. Escanaba, 64 and partly cloudy. Menominee, 68 and partly cloudy. Iron Mountain, 69 and partly cloudy. Ironwood, 70 and sunny. And up in Houghton, it's 73 and partly cloudy. And back here in Marquette, it's 70 and sunny. Let's take a look at the 3 days ahead. On Friday, we're going to have a high of 74 and a low of 55 and sunny. And on Saturday, a high of 74 and a low of 58. And partly cloudy skies. And on Sunday, a high of 74 and a low of 53 and partly cloudy skies. So I heard our volleyball team was able to beat Tech. I hope our football team can too, since it's homecoming.
Indeed, it is homecoming, and hopefully our teams can, win in multiple levels than just volleyball. The Northern Michigan volleyball played in some tight sets last night when they took a 3-1 victory over Michigan Tech at the Vandeman Arena, putting the team at 5-0 in the GLIAC Conference. Both teams came out competitive in the opening when Northern held a slim 9-8 lead to start the set, before going on an 8-4 run to then build a comfortable lead and the win. The second and third sets of the game were very much like the first, as the teams went back and forth much of the night. Despite losing 1 of 4, the teams pulled out the win with a standout performance from freshman middle hitter Madison Whitehead, setting a career high with 17 kills. The victory gave head coach Dominic Yoder his 94th career GLIAC win, setting a new NMU record for conference wins by a coach. An upstate New York grand jury has finished hearing testimony regarding NASCAR star Tony Stewart's role in the August 9th on-track death of sprint car driver Kevin Ward. Ward was killed when the 3-time NASCAR champion struck and killed him during a dirt track race in Canandaigua. Ward climbed out of his car to confront Stewart when he was struck. The man was 20 years old. Ontario District Attorney Michael Tantillo said a week ago that he was taking the matter to the grand jury, which arranged this week. The district attorney was set to announce his findings 3 p.m. today. Performance-enhancing drugs has been a hot-button issue in sports today, especially with professional players coming under scrutiny for their use. But the NCAA has a system that's helping keep college athletes out of the PED statistics. According to NMU Athletic Director Forrest Carr, the NCAA has a year-round testing program where officials come to NMU and select to test the football players and one other team. The random drug testing seems to be working, as numbers from 2005 to 2009 have decreased in all divisions, with 2009's reported use coming in at 4%. While PEDs have decreased, the use of street drugs has risen through all divisions from 2005 to 2009. To combat this trend, NMU has installed a random testing program to test for things like THC and stimulants, and a safe harbor program which allows athletes to self-report their issues without a fear of suspension as long as they test clean.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am super excited for homecoming. I heard we're supposed to have beautiful weather for it too. So definitely some good tailgating options going on. Are you planning on doing anything special?
Nothing in particular, but just hopefully see the NMU Wildcats win.
Yes, I would love to see you win. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public